Boom shakalaka, with the worst year in Bitcoin's history in the record books. This indicator flashing right here has almost a 90% accuracy for calling bottoms in the last 100 years, and where Bitcoin could wind up by the end of the year. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we have a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including the one indicator that's called almost every bottom across the markets in 100 years, plus where Bitcoin could end up at the end of this year. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, come join us on Twitter at the Crypto Love. Push that like button. Today, Fear 27, sideways since last month. It has been going nowhere. You know what else is going sideways? The overall markets. Now, they are up 0.5% today, but that's pretty much sideways over the past 7 days. Bitcoin at 16,647, Ethereum at 1201, BNB at 244, XRP 33 cents, Dogecoin 7 cents, Cardano 24 cents, and Polygon at 75 cents. And Bitcoin right now just sitting in this sideways wedge, continuing to go sideways until when about? Oh, like the end of the first week of January, when it'll have to break out either up or down. I know we are all sitting on the edge of our seats. Now, Bitcoin right now has finally completed the worst year in history, actually the first year in Bitcoin's history in which a negative return was recorded every quarter, every single one, all red. The worst year for Bitcoin and crypto in general is coming to an end. Hopefully 2023 will be better than 2022. I know I'm saying that. We've actually experienced the fourth and the longest bear market for Bitcoin. One thing is sure, Bitcoin will recover. Again, a lot of people are questioning if that's for sure, but we certainly have had the longest bear market since April of 2021, over a year and a half already. If you compare this with some of the shorter ones, just a few months back here in 2011. So yes, definitely a lot of people suffering for a long time. And if we compare capitulation, negative 30-day moving average for losses adjusted for market cap is on par with any prior macro Bitcoin bottom. Major pain is being felt in this market. This is a bottom similar to every other bottom. If you were in at the top and you were wishing you got in earlier, this is what it's like to be in earlier. But the good thing is, if the cycles do hold true, eventually you will be holding at one of these tops. You just gotta wait. Now this right here, very interesting indicator. This is the NBER recession indicator. Over the past 100 years, the number of consecutive days with a downward sloping 200-day average, when it reaches below this line, there's a dot plotted for every single one of these. There are 19 times it's flagged in the past 100 years. Out of that 19, 16 times it predicted the bottom within 6 months. A couple times it didn't. 1929, the Great Crash, 1940, and 2001, the dot-com bubble, where it didn't predict it within 6 months, but still, the only one where it didn't predict it within like a year and some was back in the Great Recession. But other than that, the Great Depression, other than that, very, very accurate indicator suggesting that maybe the bottom is in, because we do have this flagging again, 84% chance this is correctly calling the bottom within 6 months. And if we take a look at Bitcoin right now, longer time frame, 3-month quarterly candles, the quarterly RSI is playing out this nice little ping pong formation between these two lines, calling the bottoms, also calling the tops, and bottoms and tops. And we're right down there on the bottom, sitting well within these trend lines right now. If Bitcoin is not dead, might yet make a comeback in 2023. As a matter of fact, if you stay tuned until the end, we'll show you exactly what type of price targets we're looking at. Right now, Bitcoin's OBV market behavior. OBV is very interesting because it is one of the few leading indicators we have for Bitcoin, okay? It tells us about the on-balance volume, indicates 2 phases in the last whole bear market. The same behavior has been happening in the current bear market as well. When we have a decrease in the OBV and then a flattening, that happens right before price takes off. Again, we have decrease, flattening before price takes off. However, we actually have a divergence this time because Bitcoin price is coming down while the OBV is flattening, which could be said to be a little bit stronger than when they were both going sideways back here the last time. But either way, this suggests that we may have a massive rally in the works. As a matter of fact, Bitcoin could just be repeating this breaking of trend line once again. So previously, Bitcoin broke a trend line, went down 52% in 7 months. That happened in 2015. After that, Bitcoin picked up the uptrend and move to another all-time high, an almost historic one from like $100,000 to $20,000. Do we have the same thing? Well, it certainly looks like it. We found support on this trend line 4 times, broke down 52%, same as happened right here. We have the 7 bar period time, again, same as before maybe, fingers crossed, massive rally. Could you imagine 20 to 200x? Oh my goodness, that could be crazy. Another indicator saying that Bitcoin, while it may seem weak right now, could be very, very strong. Weekly Bitcoin regular money flow bullish divergence. We have the money flow down here on the bottom, and we can see money flow increasing as the price is decreasing. Every single time in history this happened before, every time. Look at what happened afterwards. Massive rally for Bitcoin afterwards, every single time. Could this time be different? Certainly could. But, why would it be different this time? As a matter of fact, interesting thing I did not realize about Januaries, but it kind of makes sense. No coincidence that historically the end of an old year has marked the beginning of uptrends after bear markets. Tax loss selling, whales clearing their portfolios, etc. to contribute to this phenomenon. We can see that pretty much January marked the bottom of the downtrend. The price, that was the bottom of the upcoming downtrend. January, the price was the bottom of the downtrend. January, the price was the bottom of the downtrend. So January, this price could potentially be the bottom of the downtrend. We may potentially have seen the worst of it because as of yet, Bitcoin has repeated itself every 4 years, 4-year cycle, beat to death until everybody knows it's a 4-year cycle, and then it's no longer a 4-year cycle. But if this is to happen again, we had 3 greens of red, 3 greens of red, 3 greens of red. Well, what will come up next? 3 greens of red. And look, over the next 10 to 15 years, look at where the price of Bitcoin goes up to, $1 to $2 million. But for this year, because 10 to 15 years is way too long, who knows who's going to be alive by then. But this year, everybody wants their Lambos and everything. So if we take a look, descending wedge that Bitcoin has been in, similar to what happened in 2018, 2019, when Bitcoin broke above this descending wedge. Now, granted, it has not broken above the descending wedge yet. Those levels will be right around $20,000 at this point. But if we were to break above those levels, could likely be very similar to what we saw previously at the end of that bear market. The first summer rally went up to the 61.8 fib. Now, if that were to happen, we could potentially see a $48,000 Bitcoin by sometime this year. That, my friends, would be very interesting. So that's all for today's episode. If you did enjoy it, push that like button. I'll catch you later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.